¿Ya probaste los nuevos clips de Febreze Car? Toma el mando con el nuevo control de intensidad. Puedo aumentarla. ¡Qué bien huele! O bajarla. ¡Qué delicada! Disfruta 40 días de frescura, a tu manera.
Si pierdes tu tarjeta,
desliza hacia la derecha y la tarjeta queda bloqueada.
La Chase Mobile App tiene
Hello everyone and welcome to the stream today. I am here. I'm sorry that took so long. We had some slight technical difficulties. Let me see if this is working properly. I think it is. Let me see if I do this. Can y'all see? Looks like you can. Alright. How far behind is this? Oh, I'm the one who's far behind. Okay, so it should be working. Alright everyone, welcome to the stream. Before we begin, I do have some voting that we need to do. So, let me pull that up, because I don't have that on me. Okay. First of all, we're going to be doing a volume check. If the volume is good, if y'all would let me know, that would be good. Let me send out a quick thing that we have started. Let me know if the volume's good, and then voting on background music. Right now, this is Lofi instrumental. We also have Zelda lo-fi or instrumental 80s music. Or I can put on something random, but this is what we're going with for now. Other than that, everything will be actually voting on what we're doing. So I'm just going to go ahead and pull my camera face cam off to the side here. Maybe we'll edit the borders a little bit so you can see me better. Let's see, maybe do this. Alright, so let's see, which corner is this best in? Probably down here. Alright, welcome to the stream. Today we are going to be doing a special tier list on all of the Bois Hangout events that I could find that seemed important. We're going to rank all of them, starting with freshman year of high school all the way down to the present time. Right now we have eight. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah. Right now we have 8 categories. So right now it starts with canon event, and then we've got core memory, Pog champion, epic gamer time, Will's mustache, Isaac's KD, Luke's high school search history, and Jacob's aroma. We will take a vote on whether we want to change any of these titles. I am up if anybody wants to change some of these before we start ranking them. Yeah, so we'll take that first. Vote for changing any of the tier names. Let me make sure my audio is working. Start ranking them. It seems to be. Okay, cool. Get it out of there. What? Get what out of here? Your high school search history? Because I feel like that should be a bottomless tier. I mean, I think that serves pretty well. Get it out of there. Get what out of here? I assume most of you nerds are playing Marvel Rivals right now, so you're probably not going to answer me. Oh, Jonah's playing Minecraft. I don't know. Do need a vote before we begin to change any of these categories. Let's see. I'm gonna join y'all briefly. You like the category names?
Mark, get it out.
Which one?
The Luke's search history.
Maybe. We'll see. I don't know if I can do that. I think we'll just probably go ahead and start ranking. I'll give it about 1.5 more minutes or so. I don't know why it's so specific. And at that point, we will begin with the rankings. The only ones I'm not sure. So here's my logic here. I've got canon event at number 1 because I figure those are the things that's like, yeah, I totally remember that. Like if that didn't happen, then things would be very different. So like canon event tier. Then we've got core memories because that's gonna be like anything that is something I remember super well. That's like, oh, that was a pretty fire moment. That was pretty epic, but maybe not necessarily super impactful. Then we go down to Pog Champion. It's just like a really good time, like top of the line time, not quite like core memory worth, but still a really fire time. And that's going to be kind of the top of the top, those three, and then Epic Gamer Time's kind of right in the middle. So it's like, yeah, that was pretty fun, pretty good. Because you got to understand, there's going to be more good than there's going to be bad in a tier list like this. Because pretty much any picture I have, for the most part, is going to be good things. So that's kind of your mid tier, and then under that we've got Will's mustache. Because, you know, sometimes it's good, sometimes it's not. Sometimes you're like, I kind of like that. Sometimes you're like, that really needs to go. So it's like, you know, good and bad. Isaac's KD, still kind of a good and bad tier, but that one's like a little bit more like, you can kind of lean on it being bad most of the time, but it has its moments, you know. And then those bottom two, that's when you really take a big dive, and you've got Luke's high school search history. I mean, that's pretty bad of bad. And I kind of debated on whether to put that one at the bottom or put Jacob's aroma at the bottom, but I figured that Jacob's smell is probably worse than whatever Luke was searching up. So that's what we're going with right now. And yeah, I'm telling Isaac and Jacob to join. Okay, so I think that's what we're gonna go for. I will give one more final request to the audience. If anybody wants to change any of the tier titles, put your request and put what you want to change it to. Put the one that it is and put what you think it ought to be changed to, and I'll consider it. Also, other vote would be, would we want to change any of the not change any of the, how do we want to do the order? Because we can either just do it in the order it appears, which is a totally random order, or it can be I don't know, a specific way, like by time or something. I think I'm probably just going to kind of do it like as it comes, unless there's one I want to hold though. So Will says order as it appears. I feel like that's probably good. Are we okay with me skipping some perhaps if I'm like not sure, or it's like a one I need to like talk more about? Because I think that's probably best, because this is just a totally random order at the moment. There's Isaac Howerton. That's my guy. All right, I think we're going to begin. Unless, yeah, re-rank later. That's fine. I think we're going to begin unless anybody thinks that one of these tiers needs to be changed in its title. Once again, we have Canon Event, Core Memory, Pog Champion, Epic Gamer Time, Will's Mustache, Isaac's KD, Luke's High School Search History, and Jacob's Aroma. We've got Isaac studying the Synoptic Gospels right now. That's pretty cool, guys. In case you didn't know, that's Matthew, Mark, and Luke. Go give those a read. Shout out to the Synoptic Gospels. We are not brought to you by the Bible. All right. Let's begin. We actually start off with a pretty big, well, you know, your KD, it's like sometimes it's really good, but most of the time it's not. So it's just kind of like in that lower, you know, tier area. I don't know. I think that, you know, you could put Will's Mustache under that, but I like Will's Mustache more sometimes than your KD. All right, we're going to start off with a banger here. We've got Luke's house freshman year, and we did go to Luke's house, I think, more than once, but I'm specifically thinking of those first couple times. It was pretty much a banger. We did have, yeah, in CSGO. We did have some times there. We had some problems with people texting girls and some fights. Jacob was kind of in his, how do I say this in a stream? His not straight era, I guess you could say. I don't know. He was doing some weird things. So, I mean, it's hard to say. But, I mean, it was a pretty good time, and I definitely remember those times really well. I'm going to go ahead and start. Yeah, that's probably the word. I'm going to go ahead and put it in Pod Champion to start, but I'll put it in Epic Gamer Time. But that could be upped later. That's something we'll have to decide. Yeah, so I'm going to put it there to start with. And, you know, while I'm doing this, there's one that I kind of forgot about that I really want to get in here, so I'm going to try to do that super quickly. I don't know if it's on here or not. I know it's in more pictures. I just need to find it super quickly. Let me find it, guys. How's everybody's day been, though, while I find this picture that I should have already had put in here? Everybody had a good day? Let me get this one in here, and then we'll move along. This one's important, that's why. I just remembered it, though, the last second, so... Otherwise, I would have already had it in here. I can't see it. Shot -2 in disc golf. Okay, it's pretty fire. Man, where is that one? Man, this one is really important if I can find it. but I don't know if I can. I should be able to. Okay, there it is. Alright, copying it. I'm gonna put it in the super stream one at the end. 86. Alright, sorry about that slight delay. The only one, so that was actually Ruby Joe's party that I was thinking of. The only one that I really wish I had that I didn't is I didn't put the like time we all were camping out in my backyard freshman year, but that's okay. So let's continue on. We got a lot to rank, so I need to go faster. Alright, this is bank robbery film. That was a pretty good time. The problem with that one is that Jacob showed up the first day and we recorded one thing and then he never really came back. And we kind of finished filming the whole thing, so it ended up being like very little Jacob. He was just kind of on the mic saying weird things. That is like probably my dad's favorite video that we've made. Funny enough, fun fact. So it was pretty good though. I think probably Will's mustache would be a good place to put that for now. I think it was had its ups and downs. It's pretty good. Okay, we come, and you know I do have to do one more thing. I did mean to have this up again. We do have the Taco Bell, and that's when we know that we've got a pretty fat good one coming up. And this one is going to be obviously at least core memory. You can maybe even put this in canon event. Probably the best video on the YouTube channel. An absolute banger. Me and Isaac filming the Jack Sparrow video. One of the most, I don't know, influential, I guess you could say. One of the most influential videos of our time. And it only took like a few hours one day, so it was just absolute popping off, dialed in, as one would say. So yeah. All right, next we've got this looks like just a general getting drunk on root beers. I mean, those are always fun times. I don't remember this one specifically, so I'm just gonna kind of put it in Will's mustache and we'll kind of leave it there for now. This one appears to be Addison's house party thing, and I think this is going to be in the summer of between junior and senior year, when Jacob and Owen were doing the sheds because they came super late. It was kind of a weird day. I don't remember a whole lot about it. I don't remember that one being particularly fun, but I do remember that it happened. I'm just going to put it in Isaac's KD. I wouldn't say it was like a bad time, but definitely like nothing too great there. Next one we come to is junior year prom, and that one was pretty good. I mean, that was like kind of a fun time, but also those proms are kind of mid, but it was kind of a fun after party if I'm remembering. I kind of get junior year and senior year mixed up. Does anybody remember which one we were like? Yeah, goated for Will because he was watching Morbius. Anybody remember which one we were like dancing around after? I think that was junior year, but I honestly can't remember. We watched was that the one we watched Robin Hood after? Or is that senior year? I think that was this one, and that was pretty goated. So I'll put it in Will's mustache, probably above the. Well, I don't know if I'd put it above bank robbery. I guess I will. Yeah, I think it was when we watched Robin Hood, and Robin Hood's goated, even though we didn't finish it. So I'll put it here for now. We'll consider it. All right, we have a banger coming in. This one's gonna be Hot Boy Summer, Bottom Gun Edition. One of the greatest picks of all time. Pretty good hangout as well. That's probably gonna go into the Pog Champion tier. So, well, yeah, that's besides the point. Yeah. Bottom gun time, Hot Boy Summer, Hot Boy Pig. I mean, it's one of the greatest picks of all time. Definitely something I'm always going to remember. So that's got to go in the Pod Champion tier. Wouldn't say it's quite a core memory, but definitely up there, pretty high. Curious George on the first day of school senior year, or right before the first day of school. Curious George in the suits. That's definitely up there. That was a pretty good idea, I'll say. And Curious George is a goated movie. I don't really remember doing anything else particularly interesting that day. So I don't think it can go super duper high, but I'll still keep it in Pog Champion. It's probably going to be at the bottom of Pog Champion, but we might have to do a little bit of a re-rank. This next one's going to be Impact Junior Year, and I'm kind of rating my own, but I'll sort of kind of try to rate them like other people's too. I mean, I know that doesn't really make sense, but just thinking of that like time frame. It was pretty good. I wouldn't put it like too crazy high, but I mean, I had a good time on mine, and I think most people's were like okay, not like as good as senior year, but probably pretty good. So I'm gonna put that probably, for me, that's like lower Epic Gamer Time tier. Okay, this is gonna be doing the chalk stuff on our parking spaces senior year. And for me personally, this is the Luke's high school search history. This is pretty low. And the reason being, well, I realize I have a lot to rank. I'm gonna have to do some of these faster. The reason being for this one, I got super sick after this, and I was out the entire first week of senior year with like COVID. So that wasn't fun because I remember feeling kind of sick while I was doing this, and then I just absolutely got wrecked the rest of it. So. Alright, next one, you can see this picture of Isaac absolutely wrecking me in the head when we were boxing. So this is Boxing Day. This is going to be the same day that kind of led to a whole Chronicles of Will where Isaac was beating the living snot out of Owen. So, I mean, that was pretty cool. That's all I remember from that day, but it did lead to some pretty good videos. And so I'm going to have to put that pretty high Epic Gamer tier. So, alright. This is going to be Owen and me rigging Impact senior year. So we had a whole Excel spreadsheet up, and we tried to figure out where everybody was going. And not only that, I also convinced Will to go on the Belize trip, along with forcing some other people to go weird places somehow. I don't really remember how, but that was a pretty cool time. The end result was not exactly what we wanted, and a lot of things fell through. So, you know, end result, that's one thing, but the actual talking about it and planning it, that was pretty fun. So I'm gonna put that in Epic Gamer, probably. Okay, this one's gonna be Addison's Halloween party, and this one is kind of weird, I guess. Because the costumes were fire, but the night wasn't really fun. But it was okay. I mean, I remember like talking to people and stuff. I think Jacob has different memories of this thing for other reasons, but that is what it is. I'm gonna put this one. I would put it, maybe not there. Probably better than this. So the costumes were pretty good. All right, now we have Billy Joel concert. So this one, Billy Joel concert, pretty goated. After the Billy Joel concert, now I went home, but yeah, so, you know, this one's hard to rank, guys. I don't know. Are we just ranking the Billy Joel concert, or are we ranking the whole day? Because that's Owen. I think just based on the whole context, we're gonna have to just say like around here, and we'll just leave it there. We're just gonna move on. All right, this is Jacob President video. Jacob President video is pretty cool. Making it was kind of mid. The actual video itself is pretty fire, and so I'm just gonna kind of put it in the bottom of Epic Gamer Time. Well, I don't know if it should be quite that high. I'll put it like around here, because the video itself is really cool, but the day of like making it was like whatever. So, or probably below Billy Joel, maybe around there. Okay. This next one's gonna be Senior Year Homecoming. I actually really liked Senior Year Homecoming. I remember Senior Year Homecoming to me was better than Senior Year Prom, just because I had more fun at Senior Year. Like the dance itself, I don't really remember the like actual time, but I remember the dance being kind of fun because like Cunningham was there and he just played like whatever music we want, and like, you know, the proms are annoying because they just play random junk. So Senior Year Homecoming is probably my favorite homecoming, so I'll just put it at the top, kind of based on the other stuff. I'll put it at the top of Will's mustache. Okay, this is gonna be Target and Longhorn Day. That was a pretty fun time, I'll say. I mean, Target and Longhorn, I actually remember that. As much as it was like kind of a weird, like just random time that happened once, it was something I kind of think about sometimes when I want to go to Longhorn. And in the suits was pretty cool too. So I'm actually going to put that above homecomings and stuff. I'm going to go ahead and zoom in so we can see images better. Okay, I can do that. This is 125% zoom. It does kind of cut off the tiers is the problem though. could go like 110. This is kind of the best I can do without it cutting off the tiers, so. Yeah, I can't close. I mean, I can close that one, I guess, but let's see. It wasn't letting me before. Oh, okay. I guess that works. Is this good? Or is this too far? What do y'all think? Let me know and I'll keep ranking, and then I'll look at the chat in a second. All right. Next we've got Jacob and Mark Texas Roadhouse date, also cowboy video. Not gonna lie, guys, we were doing like a what's it called? Like anniversary of like the Life Talks group getting started and stuff, and we did this, and that was pretty goated. That's up there. I'm putting Pog Champion for now. That was a pretty cool time. Low-key. Next we've got senior year retreat. I actually don't have the other retreats on here, which I'm sorry about. I didn't have any pictures of those. Senior year retreat, that's the time we get to go back to the place we went freshman year, and that's pretty cool. However, this retreat was not as good, I would say. It wasn't like quite freshman year level. I don't know if I'd go Jacob's Aroma. I don't think it was that bad, but I'm going to have to put it in Isaac's KD. Freezing temperatures, you can see in this picture, Will getting absolutely some love by Owen and Jacob. Absolutely freezing. They put us in the coldest ones. There wasn't really a whole lot of fun things that happened on that. They kind of forced us to do some weird stuff. It was pretty mid. I'll put it at the bottom of Isaac's KD for now. All right, next up we've got this. Okay, I'm gonna be honest, guys. This is a pretty underrated moment, okay? And I'm gonna turn up the lofty music a little bit. Pretty underrated moment, going and getting Brewsters and then chasing each other in the cars and maybe causing some havoc that probably shouldn't have happened. And we all know what happened in my neighborhood. We don't talk about those times and exactly where the cars were, but it was a fun time. And we did this more than once, but this was the OG at the Brewsters. Or maybe it wasn't the second one. I can't remember, but it was pretty fire. I'm going to be honest, guys, super underrated event. Some of the most fun I've had in high school. That's going all the way up there near the top of Pog Champion. In fact, I'm going to put it at the top of Pog Champion. Criminally underrated event that happened. That was pretty fun. All right, next we've got Miss Nicewonger's house, Christmas party senior year. I don't remember a whole lot from that, but I don't remember it being that fun. They did give us food, but I don't remember the food being that good. I do remember people fighting over something that somebody knitted or something like that, or it was like Orcelia. There's like an octopus. I don't remember. It was okay, not great. I'm probably gonna put that Luke's high school search history top there. Okay, well, making you want to do our white elephant. That's something positive that came from it. But all right, next one's gonna be Mafia movie, sophomore year. Mafia movie itself, kind of mid. Didn't really turn out the way Jacob wanted. I will say, once I took over and we started just doing fight scenes, that was pretty fun. And it did lead to pretty much every other film we made. So I think you have to give it some respect for that purpose. And for that reason, it's going in core memories, because we're never going to forget the Mafia movie. And frankly, that kicked it all off. We also have some super hot pictures of Will that came out of that. So next one's going to be graduation. Graduation's kind of a hard one to rank. I gave a speech, so it feels like a little different to me, I guess, than like to everybody else. I thought it was cool that I got to give the speech, so like that made it better for me because I was more involved. But like, I guess the graduation itself is what it is. But I think when you kind of think of it as a whole, it's one thing. If you just kind of like rank, like, you know, having to give a speech, it's kind of a hard one to rank. I really don't know where to put this. I'm just gonna put it in the bottom of Pod Champion for now, and I'll have to think about that one some more. All right, next one's gonna be Knife Stream with Isaac and Jacob. That's where we went to Academy Sports, and excuse me, Academy Sports, and Isaac made a cutoff shirt of MLK, and then I bought a knife. Pretty good times. Not like top of the line stuff, but that stream was pretty cool. I'm gonna put this right under the Halloween party for now. All right. Next one is going to be senior year impacts. I had a really good time my senior year impact. Didn't go where I expected to go. Didn't really have any friends on it, but ended up enjoying it quite a bit. And I know the Utah trip had a lot of fun, although there were some weird things. And Belize, I know, also had a really good time. So I think that's probably going to go up there in Pog Champion. Personally, to me, it's not really up there with some of the best times we had as a friend group. And I know some people were on it with people in our friend group. But I'm just going to kind of put that near the middle top tier Pog Champion. I don't know. I heard there's some weird like sleeping things, and there's some also weird people. I don't know. Y'all probably had a lot of fun in other ways than I did. I just enjoyed my trip. It was a good experience. But all right, next we've got Fire to the Rain, like the Adele song, where we made a fire when it was raining, and it came with a pretty amazing picture, which is Will holding a pan above his head, crying while he's in the rain. And that's why it's going to go near the top of Pog Champion, because frankly, this is a core memory. There are not many people who can create a fire when it's raining and pouring down rain, and Taquitos, pretty goated event overall, and we stuck with it. That's up there. I'm not going to forget that one anytime soon. All right, next one, we've got another banger, guys. This is going to be Powder Puffs 2023. Me and Jacob came up with some of the best uniforms I've ever seen. Absolute goated team. We were prepared for everything. We were destroying people, and then they made us play like 3 times in a row, and we didn't win it because our team got gas. But, you know, straight up, that's a core memory. I don't know about core memory, but it's up there, man. Oh, sorry, we're experiencing some lag. That's not supposed to be there, is it? Sorry, guys, we're experiencing some lag. I'm trying to take control of this. Let me also turn Lofty down a little bit. All right, let's see. There we go. That's what it was supposed to be. Pretty epic time, personally. All right, this one's going to be the senior prank. Here's the thing, guys. I don't even remember what the senior prank was. I remember that me, Jacob, and Owen decided to dress up like a mafia clan and run around with suits on for a while. That had nothing to do with the real senior prank, but the real senior prank was so bad that I don't even remember what it was. But it was a kind of fun day. Slip and slide kickball was cool. I don't think that was what the senior prank was, though. I'm just going to put it at the bottom of Will's mustache. Not a bad time, but not really much to remember. All right, this next one I kind of just got is like the whole finishing bottom gun. So that's going to be like summer after senior year when we just kind of like force finished bottom gun. I don't know, man. That's probably the definition of Isaac's KD. There are some really good times and some really good days, like drifting and like getting a lot done. And there were a whole lot of really bad days that just like absolutely bombed and sucked, like when it rained and there was like a massive storm and they couldn't start Owen's car because they had it in the wrong gear. So that's something. All right, this next one's gonna be senior prom. For me, senior prom was less fun than homecoming that year, just because I didn't enjoy it as much. I don't remember what we all did after. I can't remember. I think that was technically kind of worse than junior prom, personally. Still fun, but not too crazy. All right, this is going to be kind of some summer activities. That's going to be the summer, not bottom gun times, but this day in particular is the day that I was on Snapchat and Owen got really mad and tried to pin me to the pool like a chair, and then he left because he got mad, and Jacob was going full mustache mode and I had the goatee. Isaac was being a little kooky with it. Yeah, that's kind of one of those times you want to forget. So that's probably needs to be like Luke's high school search history, because that's something he wants to forget too. All right, next one, we've got another banger, guys. It's the Will's P. Will's P and having to go to Piedmont like 64 times and then he didn't even get the job. You know, this is a hard one because on the one hand, it's a core memory, but on the other hand, that's a pretty awful moment, Will. So, you know, I don't know if I can go quite Jacob's aroma, but I'm going to put it up here with Luke's high school search history. I mean, that was pretty atrocious for Will, and we didn't get the job, so it kind of sucked, but definitely going to remember that one. All right, next we've got like general boat activities. I think this is one of the first times we did boating, and boating's always pretty epic, and I think that's the perfect thing to put in Epic Gamer Time. A lot of boat activities. None that I'm like, oh, I specifically remember this part necessarily, but definitely a really fun time. So I'm gonna just go put it right there for now. All right, this is gonna be Longhorn with Will and Isaac, and I think I'm kind of struggling to remember when this was, to be honest. I think this was after our high school high school graduation party. Does anybody remember this? Isaac and Will, y'all are both in here. Do y'all remember? I remember going to Longhorn with y'all, and it was pretty fun. It was that time, but was it after the high school grad party? Because I feel like we were at Owen's house, and then we went to Longhorn. So I can't really remember. I don't know if y'all do, but just whenever you're talking to the, oh, it was, huh. All right, I'm just gonna put that down here. Oh, I don't know. I thought it was the high school grad party, and that sucked. I don't really remember when this was. Going to Longhorn was fun, though. I'm just gonna put it over here because I don't really remember what was going on. It's probably better than Retreat, though. All right. All right. Next, we've got another banger, guys. We have got Jacob's fake date. Jacob's fake date with Chloe. I think, guys, this is a pretty easy Jacob's aroma. We've got some crazy stories coming from that one still about how Jacob was talking about sleeping with Mr. Cunningham. Look, I don't really know what's going on there. That's a pretty easy Jacob's aroma. We're just going to move along. All right, this is going to be the Bottom Gun premiere. I really enjoyed the Bottom Gun premiere. Actually, pretty top tier moment. I really enjoyed watching it with everybody, and it was very satisfying to see the work completed, see it all on screen. That's definitely a core memory for me. I'm gonna have to put that one at the top of Pog Champion. Well, not the top. I'm actually gonna rate it under this one, but it's up there. Oh man, actually that's hard. I'll put it above it. Man, is that core memory? I'm gonna put it in core memory because just thinking about Bottom Gun as a whole, making that and then getting 15,000 views on it, I mean that's a pretty core memory. That would be hard to rank under core memory in my opinion. Not just that day, but everything surrounding it. I think it has to be up there in core memory. All right, next we've got going to Lee. I only went to Lee one time, freshman year of KSU, but I actually had a lot of fun doing that. Really enjoyed hanging out with Owen, Jacob, and Jonah here, and I thought we had a pretty fun time just vibing around. I don't really know what was going on. There were some weird things going on, and Owen was like mad a little bit, but that made it more fun because then he just hang out with us. So, I put this in Pog Champion. I think this is, you know, around this tier. Yeah, probably above like Carrie's Storage. Jacob Date was pretty fun. I'm gonna put that over here. I'm gonna do like that for now, but that was pretty good. All right, next we got Will in his Rocket League era. I'm gonna put this in Luke's high school search history, but above these two. Frankly, Luke in his Rocket League. Yeah, Sammy does want that. I'll give it to him at some point, but we'll get back to that later. All right, Will in his Rocket League era. He played Rocket League quite a lot. It was pretty epic, but it was also kind of weird. I'll go ahead and put it up here. It's probably better than that, but I did not call you Luke. That's untrue. All right, next we've got High School Chemistry Lab with Will. That lab kind of sucked, but we did get to hang out more because of that, and that's why it goes at the bottom of Isaac's KD. Next, we've got Singing the Barbie Movie with Caleb, Jacob, and Isaac. Look, I didn't like the Barbie movie. They loved it. I thought it was kind of weird. Probably like here. All right, next comes KSU. So this is going to be a little bit controversial, guys. We've got KSU run-out game. Excuse me. I got sick and left at halftime, and so I didn't really enjoy it, but we did have that moment of Luke talking to a girl for the first time in ages and going absolutely crazy doing it, which I heard about. I wasn't there for the full thing, but I think just for that sole fact, we've got to put it around here. All right. Yeah, I realize I've put nothing in canon event yet, but I think this is good how it is for now. I don't know, the bottom good can maybe go canon event, but we'll come back. We'll come back. All right, this is gonna be Jacob's birthday. When we forgot it was his birthday, but we made a fire out in the woods. It was a pretty good fire. I had a good time. I would put it below some of this stuff, but it's definitely up there in Pog Champion somewhere. Oh, I'm getting some lag. Give me a second. I probably put it about right here. All right, this is the day Isaac came in with a old camera and was taking some pretty fire pictures. Jacob with a Monster Energy. Another good time. I would just put that in Epic Gamer Time. Probably below the fights, but definitely up there. Pretty good time. All right, this is gonna be filming Enigma the first time. First day when we did the coffee scene and stuff. That was pretty epic. I'm gonna put it up here. I think that's a pretty Pog Champion moment. That was some of the best filming that I think we've ever done, and probably the most efficient ever. So that definitely is up there for sure. Next we've got Beach Trip. Man, does Beach Trip belong in core memory? That I'm not sure about. I don't know, man. I don't know if Beach Trip belongs in core memory, but it's not been long enough ago that I like treated it as a core memory. I don't think anything like crazy happened on it, but it was definitely a really fun time. I'm gonna put it above Impact for now, personally. I know probably that's a little controversial, but we've got a lot in Pog Champion right now. I'm gonna have to make this a little bit. I'm gonna have to put some stuff in Canon Event. I'm just not sure yet, man. I'm not sure yet about Canon Event. We're gonna think about it though. All right. Next we've got hanging out, and going and seeing the concert. That was pretty fire. That's kind of like a top of Epic Gamer Time to me, probably. Maybe not as good as Luke's house, but it's definitely up there. We've got some pretty fire pictures from that one. Next one's gonna be the Fade music video. I think that's kind of a Will's mustache time. You know, I think it was kind of a weird video, kind of a weird time for me, but Isaac filmed some fire, and we did make a pretty cool, funny, goofy, dumb music video, so I think that probably goes somewhere around here for now. Weird video. Yes, that did just happen. Alright, let's see. Oh, let me see. Where was I? That was Fade. Okay, next one's gonna come and be this. Okay, that's Bible study at Isaac's house, first year of college. Here's the thing about the Bible study. Study was good, but then we never did it again. That's kind of a shame. So because everybody hates the Bible, I'm probably gonna have to put that somewhere like over here, because people hate the Bible for whatever reason. I don't know why they wouldn't study it more, but just for that sole fact, it kind of makes me sad about that. All right, this one's gonna be going up there to is it called Soap Creek paper mill ruins, and filming some Enigma. Let's see, that's just graduation, Owen. Anyway, that was a pretty cool time. It was a pretty good fight scene. It wasn't like the best one we've ever done. I'll put it kind of right below the homecomings and stuff that were good. All right, next one's gonna be the day I ate Wingstop with Jacob and Will, and we went up on a mountain. My hair was too long, and that still bothers me, and I really don't like this picture because I look like a woman, but I'm gonna have to put that around here, that kind of area. This is gonna be Liar's Bar first time at my house. Pretty fun. I wouldn't quite go like Will's mustache level, but probably top of Isaac's KD. There's some ups and downs of that one. Just anytime I'm hosting something, it's like automatically less fun to me than going to somebody else's house, but kind of just how it is. All right, golf with the boys. Golf with the boys is a pretty epic gamer time kind of moment. I had a lot of fun doing that, honestly. I'm gonna put that near the top of epic gamer time. That's definitely a really fun time we had. This is just gonna be kind of like the recent time, and this is weird. So we've got some really old stuff still left in here, and we've got some really new stuff. So this is pretty current. This is just going to be playing game nights with the boys recently, playing a lot of code names and stuff. Honestly, I've enjoyed this quite a lot. I could see this getting up there like over time with a little bit of nostalgia. I'm going to put this near the near the top of Epic Gamer Time, I think. I don't know. The concert just is the pictures, man. The concert was okay, but the pictures are so good. But I'm going to put that there for now. All right, next we've got a kind of interesting one. I'm going to sign the Taco Bell for this. We've got Jacob finding a girlfriend after like 8 years. I mean, the fact that he found a girlfriend, you know, he's with you now. I mean, that's cool. But I also haven't heard from Jacob at all since this happened. And so that does kind of put a little stick in the mud. Since Jacob doesn't talk to us anymore, it's kind of hard to say that this is a good thing. But I guess it's a good thing for Jacob, and I'm supposed to be happy for Jacob. I don't know, man, though. I haven't heard from this guy since then. I bet he's not watching this right now, even though I told him to. I'm sorry, guys. This is going Jacob's Aroma. Not Jacob's Aroma. I'm joking. It's not as bad as that. That was pretty awful. This is going to go top of Luke's high school search history. Because it's good in some ways, but in a lot of ways it's just like, man, come on. Alright, next we've got football with the boys. Look, man, personally, I had a ton of fun doing this. Getting Chili's after a couple times. I had a lot of fun. I'm going to put that up there at Epic Gamer Time. Pretty core memory. This one's going to be Gladiator 2 of the boys. Gladiator 2, Baller. Poblanos, I really like. Going with the boys, Baller. Poblanos I really like. Gladiator 2 kind of sucked. The more I thought about it, not really a big fan of that movie. I'm going to put that probably Luke's search history, man. I don't know. Just not a good movie overall, and really sad it didn't really get anywhere else than it did. Alright, this is going to be January 1st, 2025. New Year's Day, played Spike Ball, went and played Nerf gun stuff. We did a little bit of Jeopardy. That was a pretty fun moment. That's got to go up there near the top of Epic Gamer Time. I had a lot of fun doing that. I'm going to put it under football, but it just because we did football multiple times. With one day of football, I probably wouldn't do that, but I had fun for the football times. But I'm going to put that up there in Epic Gamer Time. That was a pretty epic time for sure. Still no canon events yet, but I might change that soon. We might have to do a little bit of re-ranking towards the end here. Excuse me. Alright, where are we at now? This is going to be Luke's birthday, 2025. We had the little surprise party. That was pretty fun. The hamburgers were goated, okay? I don't know if that's a crazy opinion to say. Those hamburgers were awesome with the like Costco pretzel buns and stuff. And Jacob actually like made it to where we could eat them, so that was a big improvement from last time. Those burgers were good. And then the poker cheating, that was pretty fun too. Jonah and I just absolutely cleaning the tables, cheating, and then everybody being confused. That was pretty epic. I'm gonna have to put that up there near the top of Epic Gamer Time. That was pretty good. You know, I need to change this a little bit. Oop, I'm lagging. I'm gonna put this like that for now. Okay, we'll see. Alright, next one's gonna be Lake Filming Enigma Day. That all the problems it caused, it's got to be at bottom of Luke's high school search history, man. I mean, I lost my camera lens. We couldn't fix it. Maximum sun. It just didn't look good. iPhone filming. I don't know, man. That was a bad day. That's Luke's high school search history. Easy. We don't need to talk about that one anymore. Alright, this one's going to be a pretty recent one. This is going to be me and Will dressing up as Indiana Jones and Henry Jones Sr. For my preacher's birthday celebration thing. That was pretty fire. These costumes, pretty epic, I gotta say. I'm going to put this one probably up here around there for now. Seems good. Alright, this is going to be Will in his finals era. I'm going to be honest, guys. This is going pretty low. I'm going to put this in Luke's high school search area toward the bottom. I don't think Will did anything else except play the finals, and that's pretty concerning. There were a lot of hours on that game, and I think it caused him to fail some classes too. Alright, next we've got Chad's house quite a while ago, man. And I see most of these ones at the end are going to be pretty old. Chad's house a long time ago, man. I don't know. I don't remember that super duper well. I think there were some goods and some bads. I'm gonna just kind of put it right here around there because I don't remember it super well. All right, now we've got kind of an interesting thing going. Right now, what we've got is we've got Agrico OG, and when I say OG, I mean actual OG, like the very first server that we were doing Agrico on, and that's before that server kind of corrupted and we weren't able to play on it anymore, and then we switched over to the new Agrico, which is when Will joined us, and we kind of went from there. So OG Agrico, I gotta say, man, I had some really good times building that one. I really enjoyed that. But it's, you know, the thing is, it wasn't really the Agrico that everything happened on. That's going to be the next one, like right after that, when we actually killed the Ender Dragon, and then we went, when we actually killed the Ender Dragon on the new Agrico. Like, again, when I say OG, they're both OG. This is like the very first one we were started to play, and then that's the one where we actually killed the Ender Dragon, and I think we had like the fish base, and then we had the one under the mountain. That's the second one there. So first one that we kind of started on, had some fun on, that's up there. I'm gonna put it at the bottom of Epic Gamer Time because it was really fun, but it wasn't really the Agrico we all know. And let's be honest, guys, the Agrico we all know, and really really what you should call the OG Agrico, because it's the one that everything happened on. Can I please get a bong? Thank you very much. That's a canon event. That's a canon event. That's right. The first canon event I'm putting on here, even when we have graduation and a lot of fun real life stuff, it's going to be Agrico 2019. OG Agrico. That's what started a lot of friendships. Agrico's a canon event. All right. Next, we've got Fall Festival 2019. I just remember walking around a lot. We got some pretty good pictures of Will that were used for a lot of good things, and just for that sole fact, it's got to be at least an Isaac's KD. Well, you know, yeah, it's got to be an Isaac's KD. We'll put it near the top of Isaac's KD. Probably right there. Okay, maybe more middle. All right, we're getting towards the end here. We're going to just do these two at the same time. We've got Christmas Carol 1. I don't know if I'd go and put that in a canon event, but we do have the thing of Owen saying whatever he said and his voice cracking. That was pretty funny. I'm going to put that in Will's mustache. I'm going to put the second one slightly below it, even though Jake said like a 5-minute monologue, which was pretty cool. The God Bless Us. Oh, yeah, that was pretty fire. We're going to put that at the bottom of Will's mustache for now. I mean, it was fun. I don't know if I'd quite go like canon event on all this. Probably better than senior prank. I can't really see what's in that corner. Okay, I guess that is it. We're gonna go there for now. Let me turn the Zelda music on because now we got Minda's Lament for whatever reason. All right, this is gonna be Rome movie. Look, man, Rome movie had some good times. We spent a lot of times making stuff on that, but in the end, is it really something that we're gonna remember? I'm going to say unfortunately not, because it didn't work out, and it was a failure overall, and that's why, unfortunately, it has to go near the top of Luke's high school search history. Alright, next we've got Jacob's Birthday 2025 edition. That's where me and Will made the escape room, and guys, I've got a lot of mixed feelings on this one. On the one hand, you have a pretty epic escape room, and I had a lot of fun planning this and working it out with Will and spending a lot of time trying to figure this out. But on the other hand, Jacob did not really like it as much as we were expecting, and it just didn't go super well. There were a lot of kind of failures, and Jonah had to solve pretty much all the puzzles because Jacob's dumb. So I don't know, man. This was a really disappointing time, but it was really fun to plan, and that's why I'm going to have to put it in Isaac's KD, you know, above some of these moments, but maybe just not quite as much as we wanted it to be. I'll put it about here. Probably about there for now. Alright, this one is going to be going to my house the first time. I don't remember who I was there. In this picture, I see Owen, Jacob, and Jake. I think somebody else was there, but I don't really remember super well. That's when we ate tacos. That's almost a canon event, just because it's the first time that people came to my house. I don't know if I can put that core memory worth though. It's definitely epic gamer time. I'm gonna put that at the top of epic gamer time. Well, below Luke's house, because Luke's house is more important, but that's got a lot of nostalgia going for it. All right, guys, you already know what this one is. It's gonna be freshman year homecoming. I did not have a good time freshman year homecoming. That's Luke's high school search history, and that picture did come out of it though, which is pretty fire. So, yeah. All right, this is gonna be Jonah's house Mark II, and I'm gonna go ahead and rank Jonah's house Mark I. Guys, can I get a Taco Bell? That's right, guys. Jonah's house Mark I. That is an easy canon event. Canon event for sure. Jonah's house Mark I. Can I get a Jonah's house Mark I? That's a canon event. Reuben sandwiches. One of the firest times of hanging out ever. That's got to be a canon event for sure. That's going in there. Jonah's house Mark II, also pretty fun. Not quite canon event level, and obviously doesn't have as much nostalgia running for it, but that's definitely going up there. I'll put it at the bottom of Epic Gamer Time for now. But that's a fire. Actually, not bottom of Epic Gamer Time, but like probably around here for now. All right, next we've got Homecoming. I guess this is like Homecoming King thing. That's when Jonah won, and Jonah winning's pretty fire. But I'm kind of bitter about the Homecoming King things because I never won, and Jacob never won when we tried to make him win at the end, and Will never won when we tried to make him win at the end. That particular one was pretty chill though. I don't know. I've got a lot of stuff like in all these tiers. I'll put this. Just put it at Will's mustache, kind of over there for now, because I don't really know where to put that. All right, this one's gonna be. Okay, this is no. This is junior year homecoming. This is also junior year homecoming, but these are two very different. Okay, let's be honest. This side of junior year homecoming, these pictures, was pretty fire. But then I hurt myself, and that was really not fun. And I remember feeling really sad and not happy about that. And I had a pretty bad time after that. And so that's got to go. That's got to go near the bottom. Probably around here. But this one, this picture, guys, let's be honest, that's an easy Jacob's aroma. Not a good time. Not a good picture. I don't need to zoom in on this. Everybody knows what this is. We're not going to worry about that. We're just going to move along. I'm sorry, Isaac. All right, we've got a few more here left, and then we'll probably do a slight re-ranking. Here comes Owen. This is going to be Jihad, last Jihad video. Guys, that was a pretty epic video overall. And filming this was a whole lot of fun. I'm going to put this in Pog Champion right under. Actually, this is better than graduation. What am I kidding? Why is this here? This should not be here. This should not be this high. I don't know why this is here. I'm pulling that down because that was just a random time. I think it was better than Curious George. It was better than Jacob's birthday. It was better than that. I don't know if I'd put it above Enigma, but I'm going to put it close up there. That was a lot of fun, man. All right, Will knows what this one is. It's going to be Patrick Garner's house freshman year. Things happened. Top of Jacob's aroma tier, but not great. That was kind of an interesting day, to say the least. All right, next we've got seeing Spider-Man with the boys. That was pretty fun. I had a lot of fun doing that. We did go to Orcelia's house after, which was really weird for whatever party thing that was. I'm just going to kind of put that at the bottom of Will's mustache. Maybe not the bottom, but it was a little bit of a weird time. But the Spider-Man was very fun, so. All right, this is going to be like Minecraft server, creative server, all the stuff Will did. I don't know, that was a little weird time for me. That's when I kept breaking things, and then Will was repairing them, being SA and stuff. I mean, that's pretty cool. But there's definitely a lot of up and downs on that server. But it's definitely something that I'm going to remember a lot. So I'm going to put it around here. Around here, I think. Alright, this leads us to freshman year homecoming again. This is just a picture part of it and stuff. Still freshman year homecoming, not my favorite homecoming. I do have some memories from that one just because it was so long ago. It's kind of one of our first times hanging out, but I still think that's kind of Isaac's KD level. Probably around here, I'd say. Alright, we're on to our last five. We've got This is Luke's house celebrating January 1st and launching fireworks. That was a pretty fun time. I'm going to put that kind of up here. I think epic gamer time moment. This one's gonna be Mason's birthday when Mason was cool. I was also kind of up there around the same amount, I'd say, for both of those. I don't really know what this one was supposed to be. I'm not sure. I guess this is just Light Toast Lads as a whole. That was pretty cool while it lasted. That like whole vibe. I'll put that like over here. I'm not sure. All right, guys. We have 2 left, and I'm gonna be honest. Can I get a Taco Bell? That's right. We've got 2 events left. And I'm going to be honest with you. They're both canon events. That's right. They're both canon events. Hot take. Maybe it's a hot take. I don't know. Mason hitting the tree. One of the fire moments. And right before COVID. So at a crazy cross points for the whole world. That's a canon event, man. I think it's because Mason hit the tree that COVID came upon us. And Ruby Joe's party, why is that a canon event? Because Owen rolled down the hill, and that's what makes it a canon event. Because that was one of the things that I will never forget in my mind. Anytime that I'm sitting and I see a hill, I'll always see Owen rolling down the hill and ragdolling down, and that is why it's a canon event. And that also was a very good green jacket, Luke. I'm not trying to say that it wasn't. That's a canon event. Absolutely. Playing Manhunt on the golf course, coming back using Google Maps to find our way back, and then ending up seeing Will sitting there at the campfire, already returned. That is a canon event. All right, guys, that's actually going to take us through the entirety of the tier list. I am going to probably do a slight re-ranking now just to try to get this a little bit better. I'm trying to think if there's anything else, because we're kind of mid-heavy right now. I'm starting to think if there's anything else on here that should be a canon event that's worthy of a canon event. Or core memory, because I think, you know, there's a few things that could be moved up. Let's see. I definitely think these ones are canon events. I think core memories, man, this is tough. See, the thing about some of these like older moments is they have a nostalgia factor that kind of makes them core memory, but not necessarily like the actual fun that they were. I'm gonna put bottom gun above the powder puff thing for sure. I think honestly all 3 of these that were up here should be. I'm gonna put beach trip at the top of Pog Champion, but I'm gonna put all 3 of these like core memories because I think these are pretty fire events. I don't think any of them are canon level events, but man, I just have a hard time. What do you guys think? Do you think stuff like Luke's house first thing is considered a canon event? Because on the one hand, it's not that the time was that epic, but it necessarily, although it was fun, it's just that was like the first time, man, and that has a factor to it. I'm not sure. I don't know. Is it a canon event just because it's something I remember super well? That's hard. I don't know, because like graduation you could kind of put up there for that reason. I don't know. I'm trying to see if there's anything else I'm unhappy with, and then I'll read it out one more time. Yeah, maybe I have dementia. That's fair, I guess. I like this overall. I don't know if I'd put Jack Sparrow video above these 2. I think these are 2 more memorable ones, even though the Jack Sparrow video is obviously a super fire moment. I think this is pretty good though. Yeah, I think some of these old times are definitely up here. Football, yeah. I think some of these could go down. Impact trip probably. That probably is just. See, that's just a random time we were doing that. That shouldn't really be that high. All the homecomings. I think the homecomings are kind of below that. I would say that goes there. Okay. I think These should be a little higher. I'm fairly happy with this list. I think this is good. I'm gonna read it out, guys. This is what I've got. Let's see, should we start from the bottom? I think we start from the bottom. All right, in Jacob's Aroma, the lowest tier, we've got Isaac at homecoming junior year getting absolutely rolled. We've got Jacob on a fake date with a fake girl. We've got Will at Patrick's house. Moving into the next tier, Luke's high school search history, we've got the lake events and filming Enigma. We've got Will having to pee 600 times in a Piedmont Cup. We've got homecoming junior year where I broke myself. We've got the chalk thing. We've got Will on the finals chronically. We've got Miss Nicemonger's thing. Then we've got Snapchat activities in the summer. We've got Gladiator 2. We've got Rome movie. We've got homecoming freshman year sadness. We've got Jacob finding a girlfriend. Isaac's KD level. We've got chemistry lab. We've got Chad's house, senior year retreat, Barbie movie, Longhorn with Will and Isaac, Will's Rocket League era, fall thing, freshman year, homecoming. Then we've got KSU game. We've got Will and Jacob Wingstop. We've got Bible study senior year. We've got Addison's house in the summer. We've got Liar's Bar. We've got Jacob's birthday party 2025 escape room edition. We've got finishing bottom gun, which that should be switched. We've got, actually it should be let's see, I lost my place. Whatever that was. I guess that's just like homecoming king thing. And then finishing a bottom gun, well, also random hangout. I don't even know what that one was. Mafia thing, or senior prank, which is kind of mid. Seeing Spider-Man, Lactose Lads, Creative Server, bank robbery video, both of the humanities projects, junior year impacts, president video Jacob, Billy Joel concert, knife time, Halloween party, fade, Soap Creek, Mark and Will popping off, senior prom, junior prom, senior homecoming. Those are the events for the dances in my order. Then we got Luke's house. Man, this is a lot to say. This is Luke's house, New Year's, right? Then Mason's birthday party, we played that pretty epic game of the ball on the trampoline. OG Agrico. Boat events, Longhorn and Target, rigging impact. Rigging impact should be above this, I think. Like that. Okay. Maybe not above that though. I'm gonna change rigging impact a little bit. There we go. Rigging impact, that should be below. That's what I was trying to do. Yeah, rigging impact, hanging out on that day with the Polaroid. Jonah's house second time, which should also be below these two probably. Okay. Boxing, concert in Atlanta, then game nights, golf, January 1st this year, football times, Luke's party this year, OG coming to my house tacos, Luke's house freshman year, graduation, Curious George, Jacob's party, that should be like that probably, Jacob's birthday party last year of the fire, Texas Roadhouse date, Last Jihad, original Enigma filming, going to Lee, senior year impacts, beach trip, bottom gun, hot boy stuff, Sad Will, Fire to the Rain, Chase and ice cream, and then we've got, let's see, Chase and ice cream, Powder Puff thing, Jack Sparrow video, bottom gun premiere, Mafia movie, and then in canon event, the final tier, Ruby Joe party, Mason hitting tree, OG Jonah's house, OG Agrico. That's gonna be the list. Alright guys, how would you rate my list on a scale of 1 to 10? That's my final question before we end the stream. I'll give you kind of a overview real quick where you can see it better. Go back to 100%. If anybody's still watching after I sit there and read out all of those for some reason, which I don't really know why I did that. I think it was just the fact that like I could and I'd started doing it. I had to read all of them. How do we rate my tier list? What do we think, guys? Will's gonna go with an 8. That's pretty fire. I'm gonna assume Will's probably the only person still like closely watching. So we'll see if anybody else shows up in the chat with their rating of it, but let me know what you guys think in the comment section. Thank you for watching the stream. That's gonna be it for today until we're back last time. Here's my update on Enigma episode. What are we on? 5? Haven't started, but it will be done. See or more at some point for sure. There is probably a lot more moments that could have been included, but these are the major ones that I had pictures of that I thought of when going through it today. So that's going to be the stream. Hopefully you liked my list. Let me know what you think. And until next time, adios.